You might not be aware of this, but I'm actually sitting here right now in my underwear. Am I turning you on, baby? Good afternoon, everybody. It's actually 1 p.m. here in the Philippines. 12:45 actually. I'm actually breaking my fast because I've been doing that intermittent fasting thing. I know you guys are probably getting tired of hearing about that, but I thought I'd say it anyways. So I'm having a coffee, a 3-in-1 with sugar, which is breaking my fast. Yes, as the title reads, I am leaving the Philippines. I'm actually leaving tonight. I'm leaving Dumaguete tonight. I'm taking the Kokaliong Nasipit from Dumaguete at midnight to Cebu. And from Cebu, I'll be heading to Mactan the following night to head off to China. Yes. My next destination, my next international destination will be China. The Jade Empire, as some call it. That's only going to be for like a 3-hour layover, and then I'm off to the United States. The wonderful city, the beautiful city, the jewel by the sea, San Francisco, for another 6-hour layover. And then I'll be heading over to Florida, to the land of sugar, gold, and honey, where the streets are paved in gold. And I have Amazon and eBay at my every call and beckon. All right, let's go to whatever this YouTube thing is, make sure this is working. Okay, it's working. Great. All right. Is the audio and everything okay? This is completely scripted, unscripted. This is live. I'm not going by any notes. I'm freestyling, which isn't good for me because my brain's kind of broken and it's hard for me to, chain together coherent thoughts at the best of times. And this is absolutely not one of the best of times for me because, like my issue with not being able to go to the bathroom when I'm not at my house, that's an issue that I've talked about before and something I'm not very proud of, but I'll admit to because admitting that you have a problem is the first step. I also freak out. I turn into a mess. I turn into just a glibbering blob of anxiety whenever it comes time to travel. I got lists. I could show you all the lists. I don't want to show you all the lists because I don't want to freak you out. But I got all kinds of lists. It's insane. I'm double checking everything. It's like, what am I going to need? X, Y, Z. Is everything going to go smoothly? Is the ferry going to have engine trouble? Is the plane going to miss any connecting flights? All that stuff. But hopefully, and everything in previous years, because I go back to the United States every year, in previous years, everything's gone smoothly. It's never been a hitch, never been a problem. I even didn't have a forwarding ticket on me one year, and Korean Airlines called me up to the desk. They asked me for it, and they said, "Do you have a connecting flight? Do you have an onward ticket?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Malaysia right afterwards." I realized I had forgotten it, so I went to immediate lie mode to try to save my flight, and I was able to get through that, so that wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I'm kind of stressed out. So as my way of dealing with stress, I thought I'd do a live stream, which I haven't done in a long time. All right, before we go on, airplane tickets, airline tickets can be kind of expensive. I had really good experience this past time with Skyscanner.com. I don't know if people are aware of what it is, but it's just one of those, it's like Expedia or Orbitz or something like that. You go there, you punch in your dates, and you can actually look a week before and a week behind, and it gives you a grid of all the prices for each day and all the flights and all that stuff. And instead of what I usually pay about $1,200 to $1,400, and this time I was able to get it for $880 round trip to Florida, which was a pretty sweet deal. I'm very happy about that. The first leg is on China Eastern or China Southern from Cebu to Shanghai. It'll be my first time in China. I won't actually be in China because I'll just be in the airport, but at least I'll be able to say I've been to China. And from there it's United. And when I called United, I was talking to the customer service because I was trying to select my seats. And luckily, the call center was in the Philippines. So I started, with my basic Bisaya. And she asked me, at one point she says, "Sir, do you happen to be a veteran?" I'm like, well, yes, I am a veteran. She said, "Oh, we're going to upgrade you to Economy Plus," which basically gives you 6 inches more of legroom or something. And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice of you. That's so sweet." So I'm be flying Economy Plus to San Francisco, and it's only 12 hours. Security. This is the first time that I'm leaving that I don't have anybody living in the house. The house is going to be vacant. The house is going to be bare. There's going to be nobody here. So what I did was, and I know all my neighbors, and what's great about my neighborhood is, first off, we're in a cul-de-sac. So any strangers that come down here are usually met with by all the dogs. Everybody's got Ascalls here, and if it's a stranger, and they can usually even identify a stranger by their motorcycle sound, they'll go freaking crazy. They'll go insane. So what I did was I talked to my Filipino neighbor on this side and notified him that I was leaving, and I also talked to my Filipino American neighbor 2 houses down, told him I'd be leaving, and asked him if he'd take care of Angel, if he'd come over and feed Angel every couple days. I think Angel's pregnant. I'm pretty positive she is. Either that or she's just gotten really fat over the last couple months. So I also told him to keep an eye out for the puppies. And I got 2 areas for her. Her birthing areas are in the bodega or underneath the dirty kitchen table. I'm going to put a little shower curtain down there, and hopefully she'll be okay. So yeah, it's going to be back. It's going to be nice to be back in the United States, the cradle of modern civilization. It'll be nice to be able to taste and breathe the clean, crisp air, because this time of Florida, it's still cool. It's not hot yet. The heat is starting to come to the Philippines now. We're starting to get summertime. It's starting to roll in. We still got a little bit of a mihan, but it's starting to shift to habagat, and it's not that pleasant. But I'm looking forward to seeing family. I'm really looking forward to seeing my family and eating. I like to eat pizza, and there's a franchise of Florida called NYPD Pizza, and you get the sausage and hot pepper there. It's fantastic. I'm planning on gaining about 10 pounds. I'm still going to try to maintain my intermittent fasting, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'll do my best. Because it's really nice when something like that works. That intermittent fasting is really easy. You just don't eat for 16 hours, and then you eat for 8 hours, and it actually decreases your appetite. That's at least what I found. That when it comes time to eat, I'm just like, yeah, I'll just have that or whatever. And basically all it's doing is tricking you into eating less calories. That's why you're losing weight. And it's nice to wake up in the morning and sit up in bed and actually be able to feel your stomach muscles underneath a layer of protective fat there and everything. So that's good. All right, let's go to Philippines Expat said, sorry, Ned, I just pooped in on your... Oh, popped in. No, pooped in on your live chat. What's going on, brother? Rip Van Winkle. No, it's called clickbait. The title is clickbait. Yeah, I'm not above clickbait because, with all the money I make on YouTube, which is basically millions at this point, my jet-setting lifestyle, I have become the master of clickbait. I mean, technically, I'm leaving the Philippines. I am leaving the Philippines. But I'm coming back. I'll be gone for less than 30 days. Just enough time and before, all the federal tax and all that stuff, strictures kick in for living and working outside the United States. And so I'll be doing that. Todd Smith says Ava has the best prices. I don't know, man. I got lucky, and I'm hoping next year, because hopefully I'll be going back to the United States again to visit next year. I'm going to keep an eye out for that flight. I know the flight numbers. I know the routes. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Absolutely. Okay. Something really good happened to me recently. Well, a couple things. But one thing I don't talk about in the public here, but the other thing that happened was discovering a really good podcast. I don't know if anybody's into these podcast things. It's like a radio show, and you download them on your Android or your iOS, and you listen to them at your leisure. I like to listen to them when I'm copy editing or when I'm doing work around the house like chores and stuff. And there's this really good one, and it's called The Adventure Zone. It's, I forgot the name of these brothers. It's 3 brothers and their father. And it's basically, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons on the podcast. But all 4 of them are comedians and they're radio personalities. They actually had a really successful podcast called My Brother, and Me before they did The Adventure Zone. I've only listened to 2 episodes of The Adventure Zone, but it's fantastic. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, or if you've ever been interested in it, or if you just like really good comedy, and because they're just basically making fun of themselves and their characters, and they're actually kind of being really disgraceful to old-fashioned conservative Dungeons and Dragons. Like one of the guys named his magic user Taco, which is not cool, man, according to old school D&D. It's supposed to be something like Gandalf or Sauron or something like that. So, if you like podcasts and you want to check out something really interesting, go over to the Adventure Zone and check them out. Listen to like the pilot episode. Listen to the pilot episode. That kind of gives you a foreshadowing of some things to come. Although I heard later, as the storyline develops, and they've done like 120 of these podcasts, and each of them is over an hour long. I guess they really develop their characters, and there's like tragedy and all kinds of stuff. And if you look at the reviews of the Adventure Zone, they're really good, and I highly, 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 highly recommend that. I listen to that. I listen to that Joe Rogan guy, and I listen to Pod Save America, which is a cool podcast unto itself. So yes, I am leaving the Philippines. I have my American driver's license. I will be driving in the United States. Just got the unfortunate news that a friend actually got into a motorcycle accident in Florida the other day and messed himself up pretty well. Hope everything works out there. But I will be driving in the United States, and it's funny, the first time I drive, actually the whole time I'm driving in the United States, I think I'm like almost driving illegally, because when I'm on the highway, because I'm only used to going 40 kilometers an hour. I don't know how fast that is, 25 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour, I don't know. So when I get on the highway, the speed limit's like 55, 60, whatever it is. When I get that fast, I feel like I get really nervous. I get like, even more anxiety ridden than I am right now, preparing to take this voyage into the unknown to China. So it's interesting, getting behind the wheel. It's also nice with no traffic. There's no trash. It's just nice. It really is nice. Derek K says, have a good trip, Ned. All will be good. Don't stress. Be positive. The self-talk instructions, I know about this stuff because I, worked as a counselor for many, many, many years. And I know all this stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, but it doesn't seem to work. You can't diagnose yourself, but I guess it's hard to treat yourself. TJ, I am just leaving the Philippines just to go visit family, do some shopping, and to recharge my batteries, basically. Steve Johnson, how's it going in Australia? A visa run? No, I've never had to do a visa run because I leave the Philippines every year and go visit family. And I eat ice cream and pizza, and I get big. Philippines Bounce says, audio is good, thank you. Yeah, John McGrew says, you're coming back, right? And I said, yes, sir, I am coming back. Rip Van Winkle, how are you? I'm good. Pops Martin says, leaving the Philippines, going back to the United States. That's racist, okay? Bill Pruitt says, seems like you're thinking like a local. All right, let's talk about one of the weird things about Filipino culture that I kind of understand, but it has to do with getting onto a boat, getting onto any form of public transportation or public conveyance like boats, buses, planes, anything like that. There seems to be like this panicked herd response when they start letting people on, or they're opening the ticketing office or anything like that. Or even when, the most extreme example that I've seen is, and it never fails, every year the plane lands in Mactan, and it's mostly Filipinos because, it's the Philippines, they're coming back to the Philippines, and the flight staff says, please stay in your seats until the plane has come to a complete stop at the end of taxiing and everything. And even as they're doing that announcement, everybody's just basically jumping up, cracking open the overhead bins, bags are flying, your carry-ons, all that stuff. It's elbows and knees and people stepping on each other's toes. It's basically chaos. And the reason I can understand it is because, especially with buses and bus stations, sometimes they don't issue the tickets before you get on the bus. Sometimes you have to get on the bus before you get the ticket. The guy will come around and get all the money. So it's basically first come, first serve. Another thing I don't understand is why everybody, when they get off the escalator or they get off an elevator, they pull out their phone and start updating their Facebook or something. I just don't get that one either. I'm here first. You can't go beyond me. Let's go back to the questions. Simply Indai says, you like pizza and ice cream? Of course. Look at me. 88 Hibiscus says, smoke pot legal in the United States. I do not smoke marijuana. I do not condone the use of illicit substances. I don't think it's good for you. And speaking of which, I can only smoke for about another 2 days because on April 10th, 2019, I'm quitting smoking yet again. This is something I do every year. Quitting is easy. It's just coming back here. I usually last like a month, 2 months, and then I put myself in a position, Bogarts, Bill, where I start smoking again. I'm like, I'll just have one. I'll just have, a couple. I'll just buy one pack and that'll be it. Then I start again. And at 51 years of age, I can't do it anymore. And I have other plans. I have other aspirations. I have other goals. And I have a reason not to smoke. Pops Martin says, Ned heading back to the States to join Antifa. Is that you, David? Is that you son of a bitch? Really? Really? Pops Martin? Where do you get that from? Cheryl Thomas says, nice pictures. What camera are you using? That was, the background photos are a D5500 by Nikon. It's an old camera. I think they came out around 2011. And I just found out, because I'm an idiot, and I love my Tamron. I got a Tamron 18200, which is a telephoto lens with great reach. But I just found out that all those telephoto lenses, the sharpness on them, and basically, the image quality is the suck, because I found this website called dxomark.com, which compares lenses and all that. So, but this year I upgraded. I got a D5500 at home, which is a newer one with a touchscreen. And I also am getting, I already purchased a Sigma 50mm f1.4, one of those art lenses. So hopefully I'll have some better photos. Jerry Gamboni says, I quit smoking over 40 years ago. I wish I was 19 again. Yeah, I wish I was 19 again, because then I could be smoking and not feel it. I didn't start feeling smoking until I was like 40, maybe. And then ever since 40, it's just been downhill. Esoteric Audiophile says, hey, we're the same age. Yes, 51 years young. Yeah. Michael Murillo asked a good question. Ned, how long does it take for you to miss the Philippines once in the United States? Usually like a week or two. And sometimes people give me shit because I cover some of the bad things that happen in the Philippines. I never cast my own judgment on those things that happen. And I always try to present the facts as objectively as possible. But sometimes people think I'm still shitting on the Philippines, and I'm not. I just feel it's my duty to try to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything having to live as an expatriate in the Philippines. And I enjoy the Philippines. I like the Philippines. I might even say I love the Philippines. It's a beautiful country. For the most part, the people are fantastic. Like when I know when I... Well, maybe in San Francisco, but I know when I used to land in New York at JFK International, whatever it was, people aren't smiling and talking to you and all that stuff. They're giving you the fisheye and, smelling, putting their noses up in the air. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. In wintertime, they call wintertime here, the weather is beautiful. And it's just, and you can save so much money living here. I mean, if you can work remotely, if you're a writer, an editor, if you do coding, website development, anything like that, if you can work remotely and live somewhere like Thailand, from Cambodia, Philippines, somewhere where you're spending pesos or baht and making US dollars or UK pounds or whatever they make, you're going to save so much money. It's ridiculous. David Barr says, been vaping for 7 years now. After 2 bouts with Chantix, works for me. All right, so now you're addicted to vaping. Okay, I'm going to be doing the same thing, so I'll be addicted to vaping too. So I'm not going to, but yeah. And the Chantix, oof. Oh, here's a great thing I got to share with you guys real quick. This thing is going on too long. Nicotine patches, those transdermal nicotine patches that you wear. One of the side effects I get, I don't know about anybody else that's done this, is very vivid dreams. Sometimes nice dreams, sometimes nightmares. I've never experienced that. Sometimes when I was younger, benzodiazepine sometimes would do that, very vivid dreams. But the Chantix gave me vivid dreams, and also the nicotine patches. Yeah, Antone Lost in Asia says, be careful when driving in the States. You may have developed some bad habits. Absolutely, I have bad habits. I drive like a Filipino now. I drive counterflow, which is basically you're going down the wrong side of the road, waiting to, for there be breaking the traffic so you can join the travel lane. I also do the one where there's an intersection. It's like a T intersection, and somebody comes up to it, and I cut on the inside as they're preparing to take a left. And you're not supposed to do any of that stuff in the United States. Also, I'm not used to, what are those things? Traffic lights and stop signs. We don't have those in Dumaguete. There's not a single stop sign in Dumaguete or a traffic signal. City of gentle people. TJ says vaping is dangerous. Long-term effects of vaping have not yet become obvious. Symptoms just aren't showing. I tend to agree with that because a lot of that vape juice also is being made in places like China. And I don't know about their quality control, but I know there was some problems with some baby formula somewhere in the past, which caused horrifying things to happen. Simply Indai says, many foreign man like Philippines. Their reason no expensive to live in the Philippines. Yeah. Well, Crazy Corpseman, don't get into an argument over the vaping. I still think that when you're purposely inhaling stuff into your lungs, I don't know about that, man. I don't care what it is. I forgot what I was talking about. There's reason it's not expensive to live in the Philippines is basically because we're taking advantage as foreigners of the local economy. Filipinos cannot afford $10, 500 pesos to go out and have lunch. So when they go out to lunch here, I mean, you can get basically an entree anywhere for about 140, 150 pesos. They find even cheaper places to eat. They go for lugao and stuff. Excuse me. Rafael Castillo says, some areas in the Philippines is very expensive. Miss Simply, I don't know about that, man. I mean, yeah, you get the high rent areas up in Makati and stuff, but yeah, I've never lived there, so I'm not going to comment. Maybe it just is expensive to live. It's in the United States, but I strongly doubt it. I don't know about that, man. So yeah, I got my Kindle loaded. Because I like to read while I'm on my flight. Hopefully I'll be able to get some time to sleep. I've actually got three different types of sleep medications. I don't sleep well on planes. And hopefully this time I won't wake up and the steward, flight assistant, the flight attendant, cubicle eating all their peanuts and asking them if they have more peanuts. That didn't go over too well, although the Korean Airlines, they took it very well. I've also got some S9s, some laptops. I talked about that in a previous video. I've been doing some shopping on eBay. Okay, one of the reasons that I came to the Philippines there's like 10 reasons that I came to the Philippines. And one of them was to get outside my comfort zone, and also another one was to get away from trying to keep up with the Joneses. That whole trying to make as much money and spend and get all this stuff. I didn't realize how much stuff I had until it came time to move to the Philippines, and I had to get rid of all that stuff or give it away or put it in storage. Anyways, so I try not to be materialistic. I really do. I'm not defined by what I have. It's like who I have. It's spirituality, connecting to other people and stuff. I try to do that. But I also like to shop, and this happens every year. Like I get phones, laptop, all kinds of crazy stuff. All the expensive electronics that you can't get for a realistic price here in the Philippines. I pick up in the United States, and this year I'll be sending back a Balik Bayan box. So I try to not to keep up with the Joneses, and I blame Brian for this because he showed me his GoPro Hero 7. I had the Hero 6, which has stabilization. It's a very nice picture and everything. He showed me footage from his Hero 7, so of course I had to buy a Hero 7. He showed me his phone, which is a Note 9. So of course I had to get a Samsung S9, all kinds of stuff. And I am keeping up with the Joneses. I'm keeping up with the Bryanses. So yeah, that's not good. Maybe something I should look at. Kevin McKinnon says, "Do you play guitar?" I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada. Well, hello, Kevin, from Nova Scotia, Canada. Yeah, I play guitar. I'm not that good. My Uyab is actually much better than me. She's quite the little guitarist. I try to devote more time to it, and I just don't seem to find the time, or I get sidetracked. Squirrel. Stuff like that. Um, like as you know, if you play guitar, you got to be disciplined. You got to devote yourself to it. You got to play every day and all that stuff. Michael Sakar says, Ned, enjoy listening to you. I loved Dumaguete, Philippines when I was there last September getting engaged. All right, yeah. Okay, people lambaste me for not doing more traveling, going to Palawan, Puerto Galera, all these other places around the Philippines. I work, people. I don't have a whole lot of time to be traveling all around. But I have been around to see some places and other islands and stuff. And I really like Dumaguete. And I've talked to a lot of other expatriates who have lived all over the Philippines, all of Thailand, Cambodia, everywhere. And they actually like Dumaguete a lot too. It's not too big, it's not too small. Yeah, the traffic can be a pain in the ass at times, but it's nothing like Cebu. You can also get to Cebu, Bohol, Siquijor, Mindanao. It's like a little transportation hub. And the people in Dumaguete are very nice. Like I said before, I mean it's a cliche, and I sound like that kid. What's his name? Down in Mindanao, who's always like, "Oh, the Philippines is so great. It's so great. Nothing ever bad happens." But it is. It's true. Mike Gustafson says the Jones might be nice people, but they are not helpful. Yeah, Rafael Makati beat Greenbelt, all that stuff. Yeah, if you're talking about renting condos in those areas, yes, it's gonna be expensive. But whenever I've been in Manila, the food is actually better than some other places that I've been in the Philippines, and it's just as cheap, if not cheaper. Especially when it comes to like decent hotel food and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, if you're looking to rent a high-end condo, one of these 30 square meter, hamster boxes that they rent out for 50,000 pesos a month, yeah, it's going to be expensive. And I know people who are paying, close to that per month on their rent in other places in the Philippines. And it's like, when I was in the U.S., and this is granted over 5 years ago, I was paying, it was $1,200 a month for an apartment. And, a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's like, why would you spend? Why did you? I don't know. La 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 la. The Joneses. Bill Pruitt says, I do digital asset investing that can be done from anywhere, even here in the U.S. I have no need to work thanks to my super smart Filipino wife, who taught me. We are hoping to retire there soon. All right. James Carl says, you have allergies, or are you just sick of the Philippines? I actually am convinced that I'm one of those people that are allergic to mango pollen, because there's a couple times, 3 or 4 times during the year, where I'm just sneezing like there's no end. Luckily, citrazine is government supported, or whatever they call them, and it's only 3 pesos or 3 or 4 pesos per pill. So I get the citrazine. So yeah, that was the first time I encountered any type of allergy. I guess a certain percent of people, like when they're moving to Florida or something, they find out that they have this mango allergy. It's not too uncommon. Right now, probably it's just the smoking. Basically. I'm not sure. Yeah, James Anderson. Condo prices in the Philippines is insane. 50,000 pesos for a shoebox. Back in the States, $1,000 can be a 2-acre, 3-bedroom ranch. It's true. That's true. And I'm sorry, but these condos, I know there's big ones, penthouses and all that stuff. But the ones they're building here, a lot of the ones that I've seen in Cebu and stuff, they're small, man. They're small. Plus, I get scared. I'm in a 1-story building right now, and we're in the ring of fire, and there's these tectonic plates not too far from here. And I guess California is saying California's due anytime, and this place gets some horrible earthquakes. And whenever I'm in Cebu, I always think about that. What happens when the earthquakes hit? Because they got some tall, thin condos up there. Daryl Lossinger says the only way to quit is to quit putting them in your mouth. Smoked for 20 years, tried everything. Yeah, you gotta quit, man. Gotta quit. It's a nasty, filthy habit. The chicks don't like it. And if anybody's been in the Philippines, and you'll know this, not many Filipinos smoke. There's very few Filipinos that smoke. A lot of Filipino guys, Filipino, whatever, smoke, but not many females. And I would say something else, but I don't want to offend anybody. So that's basically it. Life is good here. I actually met somebody a couple months ago and had to go through the whole courting thing and meeting the family and taking it slow with that. A really nice person, better than I deserved, much better than I deserved. And I'm going to miss her while I'm gone. I'm going to miss Angel, my sweet little Angel. My Angel who's been with me through thick and thin, no matter what. She has been there with her hairy paw to put it on my head and say, Ned, everything's going to be okay. I'm like, thank you, Angel. And I'm pretty sure Angel's pregnant. So if anybody wants puppies, just let me know. I'll put you on the reservation list. Send your requests to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com. One thing about puppies here is they're really easy to get rid of. Last time Angel had puppies, we just took pictures of them, put them up on Facebook, Dumagate Bid For Me page, and they were like gone in 2 days. I hope they went to good homes, and they didn't end up. Never mind. I'm trying not to be politically incorrect. Rafael Castillo, I am using Airbnb. Yes, as a box, 60K, PHP. Yeah. Michael Morello says, Ned, in your opinion, after the honeymoon stage, could I live on $3,000 monthly in Makati and maintain the similar lifestyle as I do in Los Angeles? Not sure about cost of the living site for info. It depends. I mean, do you like steak? Do you like, steak? Can you adapt to local food? And local food's really, there's some good options out there. And but if you try to maintain the same exact quality of life, it's going to be expensive. And it's not settling for less. I got to do a video at some point, just living simply. Like, you get a scooter. That's all you basically need here. You don't need a car. Scooters, you get like 85 to 100 miles per gallon. Yes, that's right. 85 to 100 miles per gallon. They only cost $1,500. You get a Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. It's going to last forever. You get one TV, and you get your internet, and you get some, aircon and stuff. My monthly costs are still about $1,000 US, about 52,000 pesos a month. My house is $185. My electricity is about $50 a month. Water is like $2. The internet is expensive here. I got 50 megabit up and down with PLDT, and that's about 2,900 pesos. So that's $60 bucks, about $60. Food's not that much. I eat out a lot. It's actually easier, more convenient, and not any more expensive to eat out. Yeah, you're probably not getting the healthiest food as you would if you were cooking your own stuff. So yeah, $3,000 a month. If you were living, I'd be saving $2,000 a month, easy. You get some of these guys. I'm not gonna say any names, Chris Ryan, but they've done the $500 a month thing. That can be done, and not too uncomfortably. I could probably do $500 a month just for 1 month, just to see how it goes. But I've talked to a lot of other expatriates. There's no cocaine here, so it's hard to spend money. I mean, unless you're like buying cars or condo or investing, doing something like that, it's hard to spend a lot of money here. It really is. Unless you come, get in trouble with the law, then it might cost you something. $500 a month. James Carl says, you're from up north if you're paying $1,200. It's cheaper down here in North Carolina. I love North Carolina, by the way. Go Tar Heels. I see those condos that are outrageously expensive for a closet. I have a 3-bed, 2-bath, 10-acre for $500 a month in North Carolina, God's country. I love North Carolina. I was down there, Fort Bragg, for 3 years, and used to get out, travel around state a lot. We used to go down to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. Used to go up to the Smokies, and the people there were really nice. I'll never forget. I went to my first pig roast. I went to buy a spare part for my 1974 Gran Torino, and next thing I know, the owner of the used auto parts place said, "Hey, you want to join our family for a big family pig celebration barbecue?" I was like, "Cool." And next thing you know, I was the sole Yankee. It was cool. Jesse Guzman 67 says, "Is importing bikes to Philippines expensive?" Yes, very. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody else earlier asked, "Can I get Amazon in the Philippines?" Yeah, you can get Amazon in the Philippines. It's going to cost you a lot in shipping, and more than likely, you're going to get hit on the tariff fees coming in. Now, if you want to make money, if you want a cool way to make money in the Philippines, think of something to export. Find some local product that you can export, set up the marketing, sales, transportation chains, and all that stuff, and do that. That's one of the few exceptions that foreigners can't work in the Philippines or own a business or anything like that. If it's an export business, you can actually own that. La, la, la. James Carl says, "My real estate tax is $850 a year. Pusong, a Pinoy at Dream Life. That's what I plan on doing when I get back, is to buy a scooter." Yeah, scooters are great, man. I really like them. I had the big bikes. I had the Rouser 200 NS, 25 horsepower of pure sexiness. But it was just too impractical for the type of driving that I do. Or even going on long rides, because it had a stiff suspension and stuff. Wasn't that great. But there's a price for freedom. There's always a price for freedom. And I don't do it enough, but you got to make sure you're wearing your protective equipment in the Philippines. And I'm not just talking about motorcycle riding, because horrible accidents can occur here. And like I said, somebody I know just got into a horrible accident in Florida. He's still alive, but I guess it was a 9-hour operation on his leg. And more than anything else, I do these videos on a foreigner being murdered every now and then, but the biggest danger in the Philippines is driving too fast, driving without being adequately skilled. Like, some people come here and never driven before and they learn how to drive here. Drinking and driving, doing stuff like that, just making bad decisions. And if you have ever seen motorcycle crash compilations on YouTube, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or also, because in the Philippines, they got these Facebook pages, and they show the accident sites. They show the bodies, the decapitated bodies, the brains, the blood. They show everything. When I'm on the highway, whenever I'm doing a longer trip, I wear a helmet. But when I'm just buzzing around town, I usually don't, which is actually not good, because I guess that most accidents occur within like a mile of your house, something like that. I don't know if that's a myth or not. I don't know if it's fake news, but it is what it is. You can James Carl, LOL. You can export mail order brides. Yeah, that goes over really well. Yes. Human trafficking in the Philippines. Yeah. Jerry Gamboni, see you, Ned. I have to go. Have a safe trip back. Thank you, Jerry. Take care. Jerry's been a long-time subscriber and viewer. Yeah, I mean, there's actually, I don't know if anybody seen, and if you've been in the Philippines, you probably have, these guys that make these model ships. And they make it out of this really nice wood. They obviously put a lot of time and energy, attention to detail into this thing. It's got sails. It's got like rigging. It's got, all the fine details of the ship. And they don't sell them for that much here. So if you could find a way to start, I'm sure the Chinese could probably build them too with their machines. Machines are going to put us all out of work. Even writing, even editing and all that stuff. I'm going to be replaced soon by a freaking algorithm. Yeah. But if you can find something like that to export, that's a great idea. Philippines Expat is selling Philippines Expat. So guys, I have a 1918 white Wigo, brand new, 1,900 kilometers. I paid 570,000 pesos. I am asking 370. Do you know anybody? Yeah, Email me at myphilippinedreams@gmail.com. Contact me. Is it white? Oh, it's white too. Is it tinted out? Got the front windshield? Okay, for people who haven't been here, the clown cars, the little clown cars are getting really popular in the Philippines. They got the Hyundai Eon, they got the Suzuki Solero, they got the Toyota Wigo, and the Kia Picanto. And they're just little tiny cars. They get good gas mileage, and they're actually surprisingly roomy inside for these little cars that they are. And Philippine Expat has a 2018 white one that he paid $570 for, which is a little over 10 grand, and he's selling it for about 8. I don't know. No. Don't email Rafael Castillo. Email me. Email me. I'm gonna ban you, Rafael. What did he do? He's showing. What is he showing? Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's fully tinted out. All right, yeah, I like those little Wigos. And for a family, you get up starting a family or something. That would be a good one. TJ says there are a lot of assignment ghost writers for university students. A lot come from the Philippines. Yeah, there is quite the market here for that. If I was President Duterte, and I know this goes against everything because it violates, their cultural norms and all that stuff, I would just say, all right, people, in all the schools from now on, we're just going to concentrate on English and just make, that international language, the language of business, science, everything around the world, law, all that. Because the Philippines is already locked up. They've locked up the call center business, the business product outsourcing, real estate agents, all that stuff. There's all this virtual assistant stuff going on in the Philippines because it's an educated, smart population that speaks English as one of their native languages. But the problem is they speak too many languages. The average Filipino knows like 4 languages, and a lot of times when they're communicating and stuff, there'll be different like accents and meanings and some of that intangible stuff, so they'll have a hard time, so they have to switch between languages. If I was the president, I would say focus on English in the schools. And they're supposed to actually do that at a lot of the universities, but they'll keep alternating between, not Tagalog even, well, except for out Luzon, but Bisaya, like in the Visayas and stuff, the local dialect. Full Timber says, where are you going, Ned? I am going to China, and then the United States, San Francisco. I don't know if San Francisco is considered part of the United States anymore with the culture war that is going on there. I don't know if they've, what do they call it, seceded from the Union or not, or been kicked out. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I'll be able to leave I got a pretty good layover there, so I'll probably be, and I can visit Seth. I think he's there. Yeah. Okay. Rafael Castillo, quit trying to steal my car. That's your last warning. I can tell you, Ned, I had a good experience with the Toyota Wigo. Went around Luzon with it. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. He's got one. He's only here 6 months out of the year. That's another thing. If you're older and retired, a great idea, and I know a number of guys that are doing this. They're doing the 6 months in the Philippines and 6 months in their home country. And what they do is they come to the Philippines during winter, which is actually a nice time to be here because once April kicks around, it usually gets too hot. So from like October to April, it's nice. I mean, December, January, February are usually gorgeous. Those are the best. And then they leave and they go back to their home country when it starts getting too hot. So I like that idea. That's a good one. James Carl says California is a foreign country. Yeah. Pusong Pinoy Dream Life says, ha ha ha, I live in Central California. San Francisco is its own. Damn right. I like it. Yeah, can't wait to see that whole culture war going on. Oh, yeah. Great things are happening. Yeah, the level of divisiveness in the United States, from what I'm seeing and observing and stuff, is at an all-time low. People are really coming together. There is, a unifying spirit coming from the topmost levels, and it's good for our country, and it's gonna make us great again. This goes out to David, Bill, Brian, all you guys. You're all beating me up. The other day I was surrounded by yous. It's getting beat up in the middle, so I keep trying to change the subject. It's just hard. Scott Barrett says no, Alabama is a foreign country. Another state that I liked a lot, although I was only there for a short period of time, was Georgia. And actually, the only two places I was Augusta and Savannah. And I really like Savannah. And actually, one of my favorite authors is a guy, Pat Conroy. And a lot of his books are set in North Carolina. So I like reading his books just to remember my time in North Carolina. And I think The Great Santini was in Georgia. Part of it was in Georgia. I'm not sure. James Anderson, yeah, there could be a civil war if it gets much worse. Why is it getting so bad? I thought we were coming together. Philip, oh, yeah. I know you. Yeah, in front of Hypermart at the 7-Eleven. I said hello to you and you made a comment about my car. Yes. All right, yeah. Email me. MyPhilippine Dreams. MyPhilippineDreams@gmail.com. All right, this has gone on way too long. I don't even know you people. I don't care about your aspersions and your freaking judgments and all that stuff. I'm sure if I met you in person, I'd like you even less. And I'm leaving the Philippines. I'm sick of it. I'm done. All this freaking dust, smoke, dirt, trash, traffic noise, DBS mufflers, trying to get something accomplished, trying to go out somewhere. Everything's out of stock. Everything's suddenly closed. Going to a bar and they don't have beer. Going to a pizza place and they don't have pizza dough. I'm tired of it. I'm out. I'm going to America, the land of plenty, where I can get all the beer, even though I never drink in the United States. Never. And all the pizza. Yeah, that I want. And, this is one of my favorite things. And this is going to sound so corny. Whenever I get back to the United States, one of the first things I do when I get wheels is go to the deli at a local supermarket and get very rare roast beef, like the bloody, the sandwich meat, the bloody stuff, and it's all bloody in the bag and everything, and baby Swiss cheese, and probably some gorgonzola and stuff like that, and come back and have a feast. All right, David Bearer, have a good one. If I come to Broward County, let me know. Okay. Mark B says it's getting bad because of all the liberals. Yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. RLL says Pat Conroy books are set in South Carolina. Yes, you are right. I think he did The Water is Wide about the teachers. That was South Carolina for sure. I thought some of it was North Carolina. Maybe okay. Well, the Carolinas. Scott Parnell. All right, Philippine expat. Thank you. Scott Parnell says you will drink there now. No, I'm gonna be with my family. I don't drink with them. We just eat homemade, impossible chocolate pies. A lot of them, and I eat them in the middle of the night. Howard McCormick says milk is the first thing I buy. I don't miss milk. If I get milk here with the boxes of milk, it's okay. Actually, we got Silliman Farms right here. If you're in Dumaguete and you want fresh milk, like right out of the cow, you can go down to Silliman Farms, a little co-op down there with the hippie Filipinos working. And yes, some of them do have dreadlocks. They got all kinds. They got the farm fresh eggs, the milk, cream. They got all kinds of stuff there. Canterbury says, will you still be doing videos back in the States? Probably just some old footage that I haven't put up yet. Matter of fact, I compiled a couple of those already. I'm also going to try to do, hopefully, an interview with the owner of RapidVisa.com, which is somebody I've worked for in the past. I wrote some content for him, and I also interviewed him about what's going on with fiancé visas and just visas in general, especially since they have the latest administration, presidential administration in the United States, which I've heard has slowed up some things in processing these visas. And hopefully be talking to him during an interview. And also, I got to try to get in touch with Rosemary Sabanal. I did one interview with her earlier. I never did a follow-up, though, so I got to contact her. But I'm just going to be chilling, eating, and gaining weight, and, hating myself for gaining 10 pounds. No, I'm not taking Angel home with me, but she is in my heart. My sweet little dog is always in my heart. Yeah, my next couple of videos, actually, she's in some of the videos. One of them, she's got her babies, and she's feeding them. and the other, she's a good dog. I'm so glad I kidnapped her. And if people don't know the story of Angel, when I moved into this house, I always wanted a dog here. And there was this dog that was running around. It was actually my former landlord's, and when they moved, they just left the dog there, so it was homeless. So I lured her into my yard with a trail of chicken bones, and then I slammed the gate as soon as she came in the yard. And she was kind of hesitant and kind of was giving me the fisheye and a little worried about things, but things have worked out. She loves living here because she gets all my food scraps. I give her dog food. She gets pork bones, all that stuff. She's very happy. And finally, before we head out, Wiener Doggy, Mr. Wiener Doggy says, thanks, Ned, for all contributions to your followers and your videos. Well, you're welcome. And it's one thing I do appreciate about doing what I do is, every now and then somebody will come up, pass, and say, hey, I like your videos. And that's nice to hear, And basically, I didn't know what I was doing when I started, and I still don't really know what I'm doing, but it's fun to do it. It's going to be fun looking back 10 years from now, seeing the mistakes I've made. Because believe me, brothers, I don't talk about them a lot because it's just I'm trying to protect people's privacy. But I've made some humdinger mistakes, and I've shit, pretty bad here a couple times. And also, for people who haven't been here, because I remember when I first started watching videos about the Philippines, because I was interested in it, there was only like 3 or 4 vloggers doing it. And whenever I saw them, if I ran across them, I was like, hey man, I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed your videos. It helped me a lot. So that's nice. We don't do it. I don't think any of us do it for the money because AdSense is only going down over time because of the stuff that's going on at YouTube and Google with AdSense and all that. Matter of fact, a lot of times when I do a video, like all these crime videos, they get demonetized. As soon as I post it, boom, it's demonetized. So I'm not making any money on that. I don't even know why I still do it. Probably shouldn't. But I appreciate when people give me, some quick feedback in passing. That's nice. All right. So that's basically. Our media says all my sloggers are leaving the Philippines. Oh, then he says vloggers, I mean. Yeah, I mean, Henry went to Vietnam, and I'm living vicariously in Vietnam with him right now, especially on his Facebook, because every day it's freaking Vietnamese food, and that's my favorite food in the whole wide world. And people are just having different experiences, and they're continuing to share them, and that's what's great about YouTube, and it's just nice. People are trying to be honest and allowing other people to live sort of, again, vicariously through them, because everybody's got their dreams about doing different things, and some of these dreams are attainable, or some of them are really easily attainable. You just got to make sure you line all your ducks in a row, and you got your savings, and you got money coming in, and you can do it. It's I'll never forget. And sometimes I get itchy feet. And I'm jealous. I'm a little bit jealous about Henry because, I know that feeling when you go somewhere new, especially someplace as alien as Vietnam. Like coming to the Philippines, everybody speaks English, so it's not that blah. But even coming here, it was just so new. It was so different. I didn't know basically how to do anything. And that learning, just driving around, getting used to the roads, the people, talking, interacting, all that stuff, it was great. And you remember it because, like, momentous moments in our lives are always remembered, usually like painful ones. Like if you I remember I broke my finger one time, and I remember exactly how it happened. But when something dramatic happens, you remember it because it's making an impression. Like, even though like moving is one of the most stressful experiences there is, other than like somebody dying, it can change your life and in a good way. And coming here has taught me a lot, and it's made me appreciate a lot. It's made me be grateful for a lot, and it's made me focus on what's important and not be sidetracked by like Black Friday sales, which I also had a problem with in the United States. So that's basically it. Finally, before I bounce out, if you haven't got my book yet and you're interested in coming to the Philippines, the link's down in the video description box. I've always gotten positive reviews from it. I've never had anybody complain. I had one person complain. Wait a minute, I lied. because he thought it was like an actual physical book and not an ebook. And he's the only one who ever asked for the money back. And you can buy this book. It's $10.95. It's a good book. I'm actually going to be putting it up on Amazon right after I go to the United States. And it's got 100% money back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, just send me an email to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com, and I'll gladly refund your $10.95. And it goes to a good cause, usually Spaghetti Fests. All right, I'm feeling better. Holy crap. I've talked way too long, and I got to go double check my list of things I got to pack. Everybody be well. Take care. Oh, shoot. Hold on. And wish me well. Dude, you got a long... Oh, it's too long. Wish me well on my flight, and I'll be talking to you again when I get back to the United States. Until next time, this is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams. Keep dreaming, keep safe, and I will see you when I see you. Peace. Bye. Thanks for taking part in this whole thing. It's cool.